Hello, I have a wonderful week. So we are in the festival of Hanukkah, and it is the highlight of the year, and especially that we are going to have the Miketz portion very soon. So right now, I would like to share with you a few information about the Miketz portion regarding the letters. And this is the 10th portion of the first book. And that we have here that in this portion that Pharoah is dreaming. Okay, so let's see. It's very nice to tell you things about dreams, right? It's very special. So, ויהי מקץ שנתיים ימים, ופרעה חולם, והנה עומד על היאור. And it is came and passed at the end of the 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamt, and behold, he stood by the river. Okay, so ופרעה חולם, it here we having a חולם, okay, a hidden חולם, meaning that we have a vav that missing above the het of the dreams, het lamed mem, dreams, dreaming, and this is the root, and we have a missing vav. So this is the simple meaning that Pharaoh was dreaming. That also in another sense, since it is signing the letter, the Nikud of Cholam, it is seeing that he had, in another terms, if you would understand this, the same phrase, that Pharaoh owned a Cholam. Okay, so what is a Cholam? Cholam, it's a vav that above it we find a dot. Okay, so then we have this hardness. What meaning we should take for this in order to understand it better, this phrase. And then it continues that in the dream that we have the 7 cows. Okay. Also, like we mentioned, this portion always falls on Hanukkah. Okay. So in we have the 7 cows, but the Hanukkah itself, it's in 8 flames. Okay, so how possibly we end up with 7 and 8? These are how we are ending up here, which we should have the similar amount. If it's always for San Hanukkah, from one understanding. So, and what is the relation between Hanukkah and the Pharaoh's Cholam? Okay, this is what we're going to understand in this occasion. So Hanukkah, it's about education and rededication and renewal. Okay. So we mentioned education. Okay, so it is very important among the Jewish people to educate themselves, the family, whatever. Okay, to be educated, to understand what we are doing. And also, we having in the Proverbs, Hanoch lena'ar al pi darko gam ki izko lo yasor mimena. Train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So when we are referring for what happened during the Hanukkah in the Maccabees, it is a major part. It's going in a spiritual level. Okay. So and. So meaning that the Jewish spiritualness received a greater challenge than the physicality in that sense. Okay, since in the Hellenistic world among the Greek, that told the Jews that not to study the Torah. Okay, so they have to study in a hidden, in a secret way. So therefore we have this like dreidel, okay, that we can play with in order to learn things, right? So on every side we have Nes Gadolai Hashem, another different letter that we can make a game. Okay, so how to educate, so what really happened over there. So if we understand the Maccabees could be doing a self-sacrifice and that period in order that to keep alive the Judaism in that time. So for them not to study the Torah, because if it would be continuing that way, how the Hellenistic philosophy, how the Hellenistic world pressed the Jews, that they would end up that one Hasra Halila, one day that we end up that no one would study the Torah. Okay, so for them, for the Maccabees, they understood if it continues that way, so it's better to depart from this world if it's not possible to study the Torah. Okay, so for them it is like a death. So they had this. They saw that this spiritual death is overwriting the physical. Okay, so physical is nothing, but if we are ending up in spiritual deadness, it is something more crucial, and then this is what we have to do something. And they didn't care about their physical body, meaning we don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, but right now I'm doing my most effort. Even I could do a self-sacrifice at that point. This is what happened during the Greek period. And in the other terms, like Judaism, it is very important to be alive and not to take your life. Not to start suicide or not to kill people. Okay, so they are taking it very seriously. So besides that, okay, but not to study Torah, it's meaning that it's more serious than death. It would be very, very. The life would be about no meanings. That it's worse than death. Okay, and at that point they made that such a miraculous victory that it's they override the nature of things. Okay, and but they were willing to self-sacrifice themselves, and then it manifested in a jug of oil that they found, like according if they follow the dream, where the grandfather of the Maccabees he hid it, and also the grandson had a dream where his grandfather placed this oil beforehand, before that. So, and what they found, so it was enough for one day, but the nature of the oil was changed. So instead of lasting for one day, it lasted for 8 days. And this is what we are lighting, these 8 candles during the festival of Hanukkah. So, meaning it's Hanukkah, it's a renewal. It's something about nature that is happening. It's what we call like miracle time. Okay, but yeah, and when we were rededicating the temple, and they get into the holy temple of where the Greeks were using for when they rededicated. So this meant that they took from the Greeks that they were using for their purposes what previously was used in the holy temple by the Jews. So these items, so they became unholy, like why the Greeks were using it, and then it became the this revolution basically that we are talking about. And then the Kohens were made this victory. So part of the Kohens, this was the Maccabees. They were, besides that, there were other Kohanite families, but the Maccabees told they were the fewer among the Kohens as well, but they were thinking that this is what they have to do to even to self-sacrifice themselves in order to dedicate the temple. So therefore, it is very, very important to renew something and to educate, to tell what happened, okay, to understand what happened over there. We know that all beginnings are very hard to start. For instance, if you woke up in the morning and then we don't have any mood for it, right? So we were very tired from last night and from the week before, whatever. So we have all the excuses to do. So when we are doing like something one time, it is like could be like one point in the that it is not the same as we would do it in constant way. Okay, so when we are repeating an act, like for instance, let's say when we are doing a mitzvah one time, okay, one time you did something great, you accomplished something. But if you are doing like a second time, third time, it takes you might get an idea that you don't have the flame as you had it in the first time. Um, so when you do it in the second time, you have to put more effort, okay? Because the first time, like you enjoyed and you never thought that you would do it, whatever, you have all these enthusiastic ideas. But when you're doing it in more occasions, that you're going in the repetition, and it needs more power, more effort from your side. Okay, so this is a little quantum leap that you're going to jump, and you're repeating something and you put your effort, and this is what going to get you higher, to elevate, to escalate in the actions that you are doing. So for that you need this power, okay, extra power of the quantum, okay, that in order to do it in the best way. Okay. And since we are also in the end of the year, so in the new year, we also make some plans. Okay, so this is a very good time to decide. And from this period, I'm going to do a little bit more than I was doing before. Also for the sake of myself, for sake of my community, so for human race, whatever. Okay, you decide. So this is a great time, and remember, when you are doing it more time, you need more power, more. This is why the quantum leap, more things, because more efforts is need from the participant. So the Hanukkah, it's an 8-day long festival, and we know that 7 is for the number of the nature. So as the menorah had 7 branches, and everything, all the cells are renewing in our body within 7 years, and but the 8, it's one more. Okay, it is about above nature. So if 7 was within the nature, 8 above the nature. So this is, we have this extra power that not natural, above it, that we could jump this quantum leap that I was talking before. Okay, and this is the Hanukkah gelt. It's the Hanukkah gift that you give. And many times we have the chocolate coins that you give your children. Okay, so you might, for children especially, that you might give something like sweet. Okay, if they're doing some mitzvah, you know, that they enjoy it, like in a 1%, and they are doing something greater. So this is, could be the Hanukkah get, could be for kids that to jump this quantum leap, to do a new mitzvah, new effort from their side. Okay, and then in order to go higher in their spiritual actions. So what is the Cholam that we were talking about at the beginning? So Cholam meaning power. Okay. There is a relation between the dream of Pharaoh and Hanukkah, and within we have the Cholam, the Nikud Cholam, since it is meaning power. יחלמו ביניהם, ירבו בבר ויצאו ולא שברו לאמור. Their young ones wax strong, the grown up in the open field, they go forth and return not again. So we mentioned it is a vav, and about that we have a dot. And so the Vav is not acting as a Vav, as the V sound that should be, but so also it's changed its original nature and become an O sound. So it is unnatural. It's coming in an unnatural form when we are having it in the Cholam. So, and pharoh meaning to reveal, okay, as we know from the Torah. Ufaro cholem, so meaning, so the power is going to revealed that we are above the nature. So what does it mean? That you see that we have in dream of Pharaoh the 7 tiny cows, that and the seventh they're going to eat the 7 fat cows. So this is not a logical step that the skinny cows are going to eat the fat, okay? And then even though they would eat it, they would remain so thin cows. Okay, so it is also something unnatural if we think. So this is the power of Hanukkah about miracle, that the power of about nature, of lighting 8 candles to be above the nature. Okay, so this is what this period is talking about. So I wish you a very miraculous week, and this what should affect your whole year, meaning that still the next Hanukkah we have all the miracles that you would imagine. Thank you for watching it, and see you next week.